Hello, Christelle.
Hello.
So we're doing something different today. We're not gonna be playing the game as we usually do when we stream. But what we'll be doing is having kind of a post-mortem talk about Blooming Business Casino and the life in the studio and everything. So can you introduce yourself again?
Yes, of course. So I'm Christelle. I'm the marketing and live ops director at the studio. So I'm basically managing the marketing strategy for the studio and all of its game. And I'm also taking care of the live ops strategy, meaning what we can do to animate the community and make sure that we support our game for the longest time with new updates.
So
Yep.
let's talk Blooming Business Casino because this was our first game. It was my first time working for a video game studio because I used to work for the media, like video games, but in the media. And tell me if I'm wrong, but I think it was your first time launching a first game too.
As a marketing and live ops director, absolutely. I've worked in a big French company that you may obviously find out in just a couple of seconds if you think about a big French gaming company. But I was primarily doing like market research for around live games. And also accompanying studios to make sure they design a great live strategy for their game as well. But I was not in the production team or close to the development team. So that was the first time I was actually acting upon my recommendation and not like just giving advice and do it yourself. Not this time. It was us actually doing the thing. So the first time, yes.
Okay. So it was like we were testing a lot on this game. What do you think are I'm gonna start with the bad things, but are the mistakes that we wouldn't want to make again on our future games?
Well, a ton of things. I think we learned a ton because it was at a team level, a first time for practically everyone, I think, to be responsible of just launching the first game for a young studio. So we've done a ton of mistakes from like I will talk from a marketing and communication point of view because that's our topic and that's what we know the best. But I think it was hard to just to communicate about the first game when the studio is not known. There is no legacy, no well-known individuals behind the studio that has a pre-existing community on the socials media, for example. So first time studio, not known at all. And on the PC market, we've seen like an increasing number of new games releasing each year, especially in the indie dev community. So we knew that we were not the only one, but we chose to focus on a specific market, like a niche market in the Steam environment, which is the management games. So management games are really interesting because we know that the people that like to play this kind of game are really engaged and they are not tired of new games launching in this specific genre because there are not like a ton of tycoons. And we chose a different setting, the casino setting, and we chose a very distinguishable art style, a cute retro low poly vibe. But I guess it was really hard for us as a communication and marketing team to match the two aspects. So because we had a really cute vibe that attract a lot of diverse type of players that is really cozy and wholesome, etc. But at the same time, we have a casino and economic setting that implies a more serious matter. And I guess for some people, it's not really obvious to combine the two together, and it's not necessarily the same type of players as well. So it was kind of a challenge, and I think the casino setting was something obvious for our studio founders, because they knew this kind of business. For them, it was a great opportunity to talk about something that is wrong with our society, like how we play around specific consumption issues and behaviors. It was a way to convey some values that we hold dear in our studio, but it's really difficult to convey that in the communication and in the development of a game, especially when it's your first game.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was a challenge from the start to have to because our art style would appeal to people who usually play cozy games, and not really games with a lot of challenge, which is usually what you have in management games. So I think in the game we tried to find a balance between that, so it's not like a hardcore management game, and it's more of a chill one. I won't say easier, because we have some challenges, but it's not the same challenges as you will find in a game that's hardcore management. And I think that was on a communication point of view, it was kind of a problem, because we were trying to attract a very specific type of people, so people who liked management games but also cozy games, and maybe that was two crowds that did not meet as much, at least on social media, which is what I use. So we would share a lot of our cute characters or cute gifs and pictures, and that did not say tycoon when we would share that. And also we did have problems with the casino setting on a community management point of view, especially on TikTok, who thought that we were promoting gambling, which we are not. We are criticizing gambling and the casino setting, but I don't know, for social media, it's they're not looking for deeper meaning, and they just see casino. No.
Yeah, I think the setting was we knew it was very different from what you can find in the in strategy games on PC. Obviously, there are a lot of casino games on mobile where you actually play poker or things like that, or that are gambling games, but that's not what we are doing with this game. The purpose is for players to actually building their own business and make it grow, like the basic principle of a management game. But just the word casino was something very harmful on social media, because we realized that it was from time to time shadow ban, let's say. And it's not obvious at first, but you soon realize that your communication do not have the same views or impacts that it should have. And it's basically because when there is specific type of words, the algorithm on YouTube or on TikTok will think that it's something that should be controlled, and that's normal, because we should be cautious of gambling, the difficulties, yes. and the gambling issues that it can cause. But that's not what we are with this game, so it was frustrating.
Also, the word casino is in the name, so we couldn't even we couldn't say, oh, let's just not use the word casino and we'll be all right, because it was in the name, so it was in our handle on social media.
Yeah, maybe that's another mistake that we've that we realized afterwards, the name of the game and the branding around the game. We wanted to convey something really obvious about the genre of the game and what you will be doing. So it's a managing a casino business. Blooming is just to express the fact that you want to make it grow, to develop it and to nurture it as well, because Tycoon at the beginning, it's really to focus on your own environment and to take care of your little things, your crews, your employees, your clients, all the inhabitants in your little world. And so blooming made sense because it conveys the fact that it's supposed to grow, to develop, and at the same time it's kind of a reference to the nature and flowers. We wanted to make it like kind of rounder or like more cozy, and not use the word booming but rather blooming, because if you look at the game, it's more like a cozy vibe, like we said.
And well, also we had some troubles when the game came out, because like it had some bugs which people didn't like. So the first reviews that we had a lot of negative ones, and now we're having a lot of positive reviews, which is good because we fixed the problems, we listened to people's feedback, we changed things in the game. But Steam is very tough with the reviews. And since we had bad reviews in the beginning, even though we have mostly good reviews now, we're still on like an average grade, which means we don't have as much visibility as we would like. And it's hard to be like, to go and fetch people and tell them, hey, if you played the game, please leave a nice review, because like we want to have a better grade on Steam. So that was the problem we met too. So I think what I would take from that is but that's not my choice as a community manager or developer, would be like, if you feel like the game is not 100% done, we should like postpone the dates. But that's also something that's not only a thing that the studio finds. Like if you have an editor, it's their choice. Also, like you might have some budget problems and you have to get the game going right now. So that's a tough thing for indie studios, I think.
Well, I think it's also we had reviews about the bugs at the beginning, so obviously that's something to be expected when you just launch a game. You realize that there are things that you have not noticed, or that you couldn't fix on time, given the constraints you have around the release dates. That's something we can talk about later on. But at the same time, we also realized that there were a lot of reviews mentioning bugs, where it was very much about understanding specific features or like behaviors in the game. Because we have, so in the game we have a campaign and a sandbox mode. Within the campaign there are different levels, and you will be taught about all the basic features around management. And you have to take care of your clients, and you also have to take care of VIPs, and they have their very own behaviors and expectations, likes and dislikes, and sometimes you have to play with their likes and dislikes and with their expectation to complete tasks. And you may be in specific position where it's difficult to accomplish those missions, and sometimes it's not that it's it's a bug. It's just that it's difficult to create the condition where you can accomplish this mission. So we realized that we had to improve a lot on what was to be expected around those missions. We had to make those behaviors very much more obvious for players to be seen and to be identified so that they can act upon them, those. And we had also to work on the balancing of the game to improve all of that. We've done a lot of playtests before the launch, but because it's a management game and we had that campaign structure, we should have done like longer playtests and making sure that players could play the like on the longer time, different missions to be able to spot those potential understanding issues as well. But it's very difficult because obviously you produce those campaign level at the end of the development, and so to organize those playtests and make sure that we can recruit sufficient players to play on long time, it's very difficult. But yeah, reviews. It's something kind of frustrating because if you get a mixed review score at the beginning or at the launch of the game, it's very difficult to improve that, and because the algorithm would just and the sales will be damaged from that, and then you do not have enough visibility to make sure that you have enough players coming back and giving other reviews to compensate. Even though we patched the game like 7 times, well, we've prepared 7 updates. We've launched 7 updates since the launch of the game, so we improved it, that's for sure. But we would hope that we have enough new reviews to compensate for the first ones.
Yeah, and also it's frustrating because the nice reviews are very nice, and usually like whether it's nice or bad reviews, a lot of people are giving a lot of arguments. Like there are a lot of positive arguments and negative arguments, and it's like I think reviews are very important, not only because of the algorithm, but also because it teaches us what works and what doesn't work in the game. But when we have mixed reviews, we're like, all reviews are kind of tainted. You're like, oh, a bad review again, even though it's like a very important one, for example. But yeah, so it has been a frustrating challenge for us. But as everything we've said since the beginning, all of these are like lessons, like they're teaching matters.
Yeah, and well, I think it will be a good thing for our future projects. Well, I mean, playtest for us is a very important thing in the development process, so we will be continuing that. We've learned a ton with Blooming Business Casino, and we know now that we have to make sure that we can test other aspects of the games when we are in a development phase, and make sure that we have longer phase of playtest so that we can spot those things that that it was not possible to spot. And even when we think about the structure of the game, we know that the campaign structure is very challenging for a new studio, because we have to have it prepared beforehand and very much in advance of the launch of the game to spot specific bugs or balancing issues or like understanding issues as well. So it's been a very interesting learning process. And we continue with Blooming Business to make sure that we meet the players' expectation and demands. And all that we do on our first game is also a good learning ground for the future ones.
And as you said, like the game is still going on, it's still live, we're still doing updates. We had like big updates actually. We launched last week or 2 weeks ago, we launched the the mods, like the Steam Workshop. So now people can add mods or like use the ones that are already there. And well, we're trying to make the game keep on living and to give the best experience to the people who play it and who appreciate it. We also do like seasonal updates. We had themed items for like Halloween, Christmas, and maybe more. I won't tease too much. So yeah, we're trying to keep the game like to keep it a good game because that's it. That's just important.
Yeah, I think for us the modding was really important. We wanted to launch it on the first day at launch, yes, but it was challenging. So we had to make sure that we focused on the campaign and the sandbox modes and fixing the bugs and the priority. And we knew that modding was very relevant because it's a management game. It's something that is available in other great games such as Planet Zoo, games like that, and we know it's a great opportunity to enrich the content of the game, to benefit from what other players can create and what we as developers also create. You can play with the game, change the rules, add new objects, new mission, even new buildings. So it's something that make the game live for a longer term. So even though our community is small and we had a difficult launch, it was important for us to not abandon our kind of promise around the live support and the modding, because we talked about the modding kind of practically at the start of the communication around the game. So it was important for us to commit, even though to be honest, it's not very profitable for us, but it's very much a community engagement and value that we have, and it's also a great learning experience as well. So for those who haven't seen the modding yet, we've launched the Steam Workshop support. So it's using the Steam Workshop. We've made 4 modes that was developed by the lead dev of the game. So there are tons of ways to experiment and play the game. You have a FPS mode, so it's a mode where you can play at the first person view. It's really great because you can really see up close those characters in the game. Yeah, they are very cute, so it's very nice to be able to be close to them. So you can walk on your casino, within your casino premises. You can watch the animals playing around you. You can watch all the details and the nice art that was developed around the game. So it's nice, but it's not a mode where you can really manage your casino. It's something you use when you already created your casino and you want to just see it from up close. And we have other modes. We have a wolf mode where all the clients are
wolves.
Replaced by wolves, and it's great because wolves are really beautiful. So we really encourage you to subscribe to the Steam Workshop modes and to test it, and also to tell us what you think about those modes, because it's important for us as well. And you can also try to create your own modes because we've prepared documentation, and there is an open tools to try it.
Let's switch to other projects. So we have not been allowed to tell too much, but of course, once you finish a game, you just don't like just sit down and okay, that's it. So like when you're a studio, especially an indie studio, we had to like start developing something new, start working on something new. So we're not gonna tell much more than that. But the thing for us, especially on the communication side, is that we can't stay communicating on Blooming Business Casino forever, and at the same time we can't communicate on whatever we're working on right now. So we want to focus on communication around the game, the studio, sorry, which is why we're doing this just chatting stream instead of a gameplay stream. And yeah, we're gonna do a rebranding of all the social media, because like all our social media is either the studio or the game, and we don't want to like lose the communities that we've earned. So we're like, yeah, there's gonna be like a fusion of those things. So stay tuned, and thank you for sharing the link.
So yeah, we are working on new things, obviously. We can't say much for now, but we encourage you, if you want to support our studio, and even if you want to support Blooming Business Casino, because when you follow the social media, when you join our Discord, when you review the game, it gives us the opportunity to work on new project, and also to work on the live, to continue working on the live of the game. So, I mean, every kind of support is important for us. And yeah, so maybe Juliette, you want to talk about where we are in terms of social media for our followers. Yeah.
So where we post the most is currently on I'm going to say Twitter. I'm not going to use the new name. Even though that's not the social media where we have the most like exchange with people. I think where we exchange the most is our Discord, which I think is the most important place to join, because that's where you can ask questions about the games, about the studio. You can actually talk to the devs, because all the devs in the studio are in the community Discord, so you can ask any question you like. We're trying to focus a little more on TikTok this year, because I think that it's a lot of people are on TikTok. It's I'm not gonna say it's easier, but like the algorithm is a lot better than most social media. So like you can actually touch people who like your kinds of game on TikTok more easily than you can on other social media like YouTube, for instance. It's very hard to reach people on YouTube, which is why if we're doing videos, we're more going to focus on TikTok, even though we do have a YouTube channel where you can look at the replays of our streams, which is another thing we do. We do stream sometimes on Steam when we're actually talking about the game itself, and sometimes here on Twitch. Also, we have a Reddit page that's not really moving for now, but we also want to expand it for the future. So, did I forget something?
No, I think that's
we do
great
have
overview.
An Instagram page, but it's the same as TikTok. Like, I mean, TikTok reaches people more easily than Instagram. So,
as you mentioned, we want to continue producing videos and streams, even though there won't be big updates and many regular new content for Blooming Business Casino, because we need to focus on new projects to make sure that we enable the studio to continue produce new projects and hire and maintain the team that is working on those beautiful projects. So we will be talking about what we do. We want to also talk about our jobs, what it means to work in an indie game studio, and in the gaming industry, because it's very, very specific, and that we know that it interests a lot of players as well. So we will be talking about our jobs, the gaming industries. We want to talk about, so when we can, the new project, and to tease you what we are doing and what are our challenges and what we think about those projects. We also want to talk about the gaming news. So I think from time to time, we want to just chat about what's happening in the gaming industry, what are the new projects and new games that we've noticed, what we like as players ourselves. Yeah, things like that to showcase what we do, to give you also tips about the gaming industries, to give you a better understanding of our challenges, and also to convey important news and message, because we think that it's important to also showcase and highlight the issues when you work in this industry, and also what we want to do as a indie game studio with like engaged projects, because we want to create projects that mean something for the society. I mean, we are trying to, at least. We want to convey specific message, and we want to make it a better place.
So what you're saying is that we still have a lot of work ahead of us, even though like the production of Blooming Business Casino is practically over.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for Blooming Business Casino, it really depends on what we will be able to do. I mean, obviously, the more successful the game is, the more possibilities and opportunity we have to continue supporting it with new updates, new activity, and so on. We have an engagement. We want to make sure that we at least give us a minimal support to the game and to the community. So we will continue try to fix the most important issue with the game, if there are remaining ones, and maybe there are. We will try to give you from time to time small updates and new things to play with. You talked about the seasonal events. For us, it's important to be there and to provide you with new items or little things, but still nice things to play with. And if we can do more, obviously we will do more. It's just that we need to focus where it's profitable for us, because we, at a studio level, it was important for us to work with permanent contract employees and not freelancer. We do have freelancer, obviously, but it's really minimal compared to the effort and the focus we made on hiring permanent employees. So because of that, it also demands that we focus on what is profitable. So we have to cope with that. It's not to say that we won't be continuing producing new things for Blooming Business Casino, but it will be probably highly dependent on the success of the game, and it will be probably less than what we would have hoped at the beginning. But there are things in the calendar.
Yes.
So
actually,
there will be
everyone goes to Steam and give us nice review, and then the algorithm pushes in the to everyone's page, and then we're gonna have success, and we're gonna be able to put a lot of things in the game.
Yeah, do that, please.
Yes. But yeah, it's about 12:30 here in France, which is all the time we have. I think we touched on everything we wanted to talk. Like, we talked about what's going on with Blooming Business Casino. We did talk a bit about future projects that we can't really talk about. So hopefully we didn't say too much. We didn't say nothing.
Yeah, but we will probably, maybe, talk a little bit about that because we want to engage you early on those projects. That was the philosophy for Blooming Business Casino, and we have the same approach and values for the next projects. So whenever it will be possible, we will try to show you what we are working on. We won't reveal everything, obviously, at first, but we want to engage you and to showcase what we do.
Well, I think we're gonna leave it there. Thank you, Christelle, for joining me. This was a nice chat. I liked doing something different than just playing the game because I do love the game, but that's all we do in the stream is play the game. So it's nice to have new things to talk about.
Oh, for sure, and we hope that you like this kind of
format
streams as well. So yeah, do not hesitate to give us feedback. We will be posting the replay of the game on YouTube, I think, and maybe other socials, so you can watch it and give us feedback. But yeah, it was great to just casual chat. It was not very prepared or super structured, so
I think
bear
it's
with
better
us.
for streaming, actually.
Yes, probably. But it was a nice chat, and so we hope that you will be following us in the future.
Yes, all the social media are in the comments or in the bio if you're looking at this replay on YouTube. And we hope to see you on the next stream, and we hope you have a good day. Bye.
Yeah.